Welcome back to the second full-length episode of Deep Within the Man Cave. Once again, my name is Jeremy, and we're here to talk about men's mental health. Today's topic we're going to talk about is self-esteem and how to gain it, how to keep it, and how to prioritize yourself and why you're in charge of your own self-esteem and nobody else is. So, first of all, we'll talk about that you are responsible for setting your own self-esteem. Nobody else's. You cannot get self-esteem from your wife, your girlfriend, your kids, family members, strangers. It comes from you. And sometimes that's sort of hard to understand. So, you are responsible for your own self-confidence and your own self-esteem. So, one of the easy ways to start boosting your self-esteem if you feel that you're low self-esteem, and even if you have high self-esteem, you can always use more. It's a good thing. So one of the easiest and simplest ways to start is two things. I personally do this every night before I go to bed. I have a to-do list, or otherwise called an integrity journal, and a wins journal. So, talk about the to-do list, integrity journal. So that is where you list things that you may have put off, like painting the fence or cleaning the garage, something like that. And you put everything that you know you need to get done there, whether it's a major thing like, say, building a deck, or a minor thing like unloading the dishwasher. So, the easiest way is to start off with the simpler, easier way to start, and that's an easy, simple, quick boost of self-esteem. So, on your list, you might realize, okay, I need to fold laundry, wash clothes, hang up my laundry, whatever. So, if the job itself is like a major job, so say for example you had 100 t-shirts you had to hang up in your closet. I mean, sure, you could do 100 t-shirts and it would take a long time and you might get discouraged halfway through. So write it down that you're going to hang up 20 of them, and then you do it, and then you cross that off your to-do list on your integrity journal. And then you can see that you've actually completed a task, and that will make you feel good, no matter how small or minuscule the task is. So you do that for stuff, and you keep adding to this journal, and you scratch stuff off as you do it. So what I like to do is I like to tackle something. I try to at least tackle 1 to 2 things every couple of days for the major, bigger things. And smaller stuff, I just try to do the smaller stuff every day, even if it's just part of it. Now, the other thing that I do every day, every night before I go to bed, is a wins and gratitude journal. So the wins journal, you write down the wins that you had for the day. Now, a win is anything that you did that kind of boost your confidence or made you feel good, or maybe you would have normally not done it but you did it. So my wins, for example, start off with, if I've had a good sleep the night before, I'll write that in because that's important. Then I also, if it's nice outside, I like to get up 7:38, and I have my coffee and breakfast on the deck if it's nice out. It's nice and quiet. Just, that's it. No phones, nothing. Just enjoying the peace and quiet and being in the moment of first thing in the morning. Then, another thing I also do is as soon as I get out of bed and brush my teeth and get ready, I make my bed. Now, I've never made my bed before. I just heard it was something to do, and I've tried it. I said, what the heck, why not? And it actually now has become a habit. I don't even think about it. And when I don't do it, I feel like I have forgotten something. So even that is a win. So I've set up a morning routine, and I try to follow it as best I can. Granted, there's days when I don't even feel like getting out of bed because maybe I stayed up too late the night before, or maybe bed's just too comfortable and I'm tired and I don't really have anything to do, so why not? And that's fine as long as you're not doing that every day. So what I do, and I try to do this every day, is I get up within 5 minutes of my alarm. Then I make my bed, brush my teeth, get ready. I started with 10 push-ups and 10 sit-ups. I try to do that every day, but lately it's been 2 to 3 times a week. And every week I increase that number by 5. So the week after I do 15 and 15. And those are really simple. They don't take a lot of time. Things. The exercise first thing in the morning, it gets the blood going and makes you feel good, makes you feel alive. And yeah, when you're half asleep, it's hard work. It's harder than if you've been up for 3 hours or whatever. It's harder just because you're still half asleep. So it's like a hard job was completed. So any little tiny thing that you can do, something like that, something that is hard, say you have to make a phone call that you don't really want to make. The sooner you do it, the sooner it's done, and chances are it's not going to be as bad as you think it is, and that's a win because you did it. It was hard, but you did it. So there's lots of little things. So again, to my list, I go, depends what I do during the day, how much work I get done. If I do some research on a topic that I want to talk about on here, that's a win. If I don't know something, I'll look it up. That's a win. If I need to learn how to do something for work, I'll watch YouTube videos or look it up, study it. That's a win, because once I know how to do it, I've added value to my life for that day, if that's all it is. And a win can even be talking to a buddy you haven't talked to in forever. Give somebody a call. Say hi to your mom, hi to your dad. Anything like that. Anything that you can do that, it's hard work, or it doesn't even have to be hard work. Anything you can do that makes you feel good is a win. Now, at first, they're harder to recognize. So you gotta start off small, and you gotta really look. So one trick I started with is, when I was first starting this, was I try to find 10 things a day. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I can do 20. Like spending extra time with my kids, or showing them a new skill. anything like that is a win. Quality time with your family is a win. Make dinner. Make something from scratch. Even if you don't know what you're doing, just throw something together. What's the worst that can happen? It doesn't taste good? Oh well, order pizza. That always tastes good. So, these are little things you can do to boost your self-esteem. And your self-esteem is so important because the more self-esteem you have, the more harder, strenuous things that you maybe have anxiety about don't actually seem that stressful and that scary. Another thing I like to do that I learned was to stand up straight. Don't look at the ground when you're walking or anything like that. Look at people in the eye. That's a little awkward sometimes, so easy way to do it, when you go order your coffee in the morning, look them in the eye. Tell them what you want, but look them in the eye. That can also boost your self-confidence. And that's a complete stranger. They don't know you. You don't have to be embarrassed about something or anything like that. And if you practice this, it becomes easier, and it also becomes second nature. You go for a walk and you pass somebody. Say hello. Be the first one to say hello. Don't wait for somebody else to do it. You know, you greet people. Another good way to boost self-esteem is if you're, say, like in an elevator or at a store in a lineup or whatever, talk to the person next to you. Just start a question. I mean, it can be as corny as, oh, hey, great weather out today, right? But if you initiate it, that also boosts your self-esteem, because eventually you will realize that sort of everybody is in the same boat. Everyone wants to talk to somebody, but everybody is kind of nervous. I mean, some people don't want to talk to people, but that's not your problem. Just say hi. And if they don't respond, that's not on you. Another easy way is to help somebody. It could be easy enough just to hold the door open for somebody. Help them load their groceries in their car if you see somebody. Offer to mow somebody's lawn, or especially if you have seniors in your neighborhood or something like that that can't do it. Just offer to give a hand. Be of service to somebody. That makes you feel good. The trick is, have no expectations. So if I hold the door open for you, or I decide, oh, I see Mr. Jones across the street and he's 90 years old, he shouldn't really be mowing his lawn, I'll go do it. Well, go do it, but don't expect somebody to say thank you or pay you for your services. Do it because you want to do it and you're being of service. And when you do things like this, other people recognize this. You become more approachable, and you'll also, people will comment on you and stuff like that. So that's also very important. Another good way to boost self-esteem and confidence is to volunteer for something. Me making these videos, my goal is to help somebody, and like I said, with my anxiety, and I had low self-esteem and low self-confidence, I wouldn't have done it. I've thought of this kind of stuff for a long time, but I've never actually done it. I've kind of even written it up as much as a plan, but I haven't done it because I had low self-esteem and stuff like that. So your self-esteem is your responsibility, and you can choose it. It's difficult at first, but keep pushing and If you try any one of these techniques for a week, I guarantee you will start to feel better and notice yourself change. It's not like one morning you're like, oh, I'm bulletproof, I'm nothing can hurt me. I'm like a brick wall. It's not like that. Yes, you still have feelings, you still get hurt, you still get uncomfortable, you still make mistakes, but who cares? It doesn't really matter. No one's going to remember in 10 minutes. I mean, you could call somebody by the wrong name and then, 4 hours later, you meet the same person, you don't recognize them. They might remember, but they're not going to say, oh, you called me the wrong name. No one's going to do that. No one's going to call you out on that stuff. And if they do, it's usually because they have self-esteem issues and they need to be boosted up. So an easy, simple way is to boost them up. Boosting up complete strangers, whatever, is a great way. Just saying hi and thank you. Another thing to look at is you can get a boost of self-esteem from somebody. You can't not get your self-esteem from somebody else, but you can recognize when somebody compliments you or something like that. That is a boost to your self-esteem because you did something good and they want to recognize you for it. They want to thank you for it. So wins journals, awesome. I've got about 5 that are full. I've only been doing this since February. So yeah, sometimes it's 2 or 3 pages that I write a day. And also to add to your wins journal, gratitude. Now, gratitude is things you are thankful for that happened to you that day or that week, depending on how many times you enter in your journals. So your gratitudes are like, oh, I had a really good talk with a friend and they helped me out with a problem. Well, you're grateful for that because they helped you. I am always grateful for my kids. Even though they fight and they irritate parents like every other kid, you irritated your parents. I guarantee it. That's what all about being a kid is. But they are funny. They are always cracking jokes. They're always making fun of me. They're always having fun. And if you can just let go and join them, it's awesome. And I am grateful for my boys every day. It could be the worst day. They could be in foul moods all day. But seeing those 2 boys happy, fighting, whatever, brings me joy. I am grateful I have them in my life. My life would be very boring and dull without them. It's stressful and sometimes noisy and crazy, but I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world. I'm also grateful for like new customers, or when a customer calls and says, hey, I just wanted to thank you. I've gotten emails from people that say, oh, thank you. I just wanted to thank you for your service and your great job. I'm grateful for those people because that's a boost in my self-confidence. They didn't have to do that. And gratitude can also, you can get it from something negative. So in a weird way, I am grateful that what I'm going through now in my personal life has happened, because I've been being forced to look at myself and look at my struggles and make the changes that I need to do. So I can tell you now that my self-confidence has never been this high. And things that I didn't even think are I was grateful for, like honestly, sitting on your deck, eating a bowl of cereal, and having your dogs come and rest their head on your legs, awesome. Your pets love you unconditionally. They just want you to scratch their head and rub their bellies. And I'm grateful I have them. They drive me crazy sometimes. But that's unconditional love that you can only get that from that type of love from a pet. And I mean, your children love you. They might say they hate you. They don't. It's pets are different. Kids are great. Girlfriends, wives are awesome, and all that stuff. But the more self-confidence you have, the more you realize how blessed we actually are, even in tough situations. I didn't think I could ever handle the things I've had to handle and do the things I've had to do. Something I never thought would happen, and I hope no one else ever has to go through it. But keep your head up and just know that you are loved, you are worth love, you are worth it. But you have to believe that yourself. So you have to boost yourself up. And doing your wins journals, being helpful, volunteering, any of these kind of things, like do something for somebody else, have a purpose outside of your family. This YouTube channel is my new purpose. I want to help somebody. I'd like to help more than one person, but if I only able to reach one person, that's good. I've helped somebody. And that's important. It's important to me. It's something that I want to teach my kids, that even if something is uncomfortable, you do it because you know it's right, the right thing to do. And yeah, I'm actually proud of myself for doing this stuff, because it does take some guts to sit in front of a camera and, you know, speak from the heart. Good things, bad things, horrible things. It's hard, you know, because this is worldwide. Anybody can see this. So you're telling the world what you're feeling and what you're going through. So yeah, it's difficult, but it's something I feel is very important. And I honestly feel that men don't give it the attention that it's needed. And I know in my personal life and some friends that I know who had hard times, that if they had sought out help or even knew help was available, things might have changed. Not necessarily, but you know, they'd be in a better place mentally for themselves. So your gratitudes they come from anything. And you can find them in anything, even if it's a dark, there is a silver lining in everything. You just have to choose to look for it. And the more you open your mind to this kind of stuff, you actually see that, yeah, the world isn't so scary or whatever. And you have the power to change your situation. I could be upset and miserable. I don't want to do that. I don't want to yell at people. I don't want to scare people anymore. I was angry. I learned how to deal with that. And that's going to be another up and coming topic. In the next couple weeks, I'm hoping to tackle how to handle your anger and what anger actually is. And that'll be in another up and coming episode of Deep Within the Man Cave. This one's running a little long, so small goals that are obtainable, break them down. If you have a massive goal, like you want to clean out your garage, you're not going to do it all in one day. you're gonna pull everything out and then, oh crap, I gotta put it all back in, and it'll probably even look worse than when you started. So start small. Start with your workbench. Take everything off the workbench. You don't even have to put it away. Just get your workbench clean. Check that off. That's a good step. It's obtainable. You can probably do it in about an hour, and you're not setting yourself up for failure by tackling a job that is too big. If you break it down into smaller sections, you actually accomplish more in less time than trying to tackle a massive job all at once. And that also is in goal setting, and I'll talk about goal setting pretty quick too. So write down your wins, look for your gratitudes, hold your head up high, say hello, be of value, be of service. These are all simple ways you can boost your own self-esteem and self-confidence. And the more you have, the more you get. So stay strong. You got this. And remember, be kind to anyone and everyone, because you don't know their situation, you don't know what they're going through. And your act of kindness could bring them to a better place. So until next time, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Deep Within the Man Cave. Have any questions or comments, post them below, and I will be posting another video next week. Talk to you later. Bye.